There is a moment you have replayed so many times you could recite it like a script. Maybe you said something wrong at a party 3 years ago. Maybe you tripped in a hallway in 8th grade and everyone turned to look. It is over. It has been over for years. And yet your brain keeps pulling it back up, running it again like a movie stuck in a loop. Why does it do that? Why can it not just let you forget? Here is the strange part. The moment almost certainly was not as bad as you remember it. The people there have already forgotten. And the brain that keeps torturing you with the replay is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is, it was designed for a world that no longer exists. Let us start with why it feels like everyone was watching. In 2000, psychologists Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky at Cornell University ran a series of experiments. They asked college students to walk into a room full of people wearing a Barry Manilow t-shirt, chosen specifically because the students found it embarrassing. Afterward, the students estimated that about half the people in the room had noticed the shirt. The real number was closer to 23%, less than half of what they imagined. Gilovich and Savitsky called this the spotlight effect. We each move through life feeling as if a spotlight follows us, magnifying every stumble, every awkward pause, every wrong word. But the spotlight is almost entirely in our own heads. Other people are busy running their own spotlight. So why does the cringe memory keep coming back if the moment barely registered for anyone else? This is where your brain's threat system comes in. Deep inside your brain sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Its job for most of human history was survival. When something painful or dangerous happened, the amygdala flagged it. Remember this, remember the details, remember the feeling. A sharp rock that cut your foot, the face of someone who hurt you, the clearing in the forest where something went wrong. Forgetting those things could cost you your life. So the brain built a rule: negative experiences get encoded with extra weight. Researchers call this negativity bias, and it is real across dozens of studies, going back to Roy Baumeister's influential 2001 paper in the Journal Review of General Psychology, which found that bad events have stronger and longer-lasting effects on the mind than equally strong good events. Your brain treats social humiliation the same way it once treated a physical threat. Your standing in the group, your reputation, your belonging, those things genuinely mattered to survival for most of human history. A moment of public embarrassment pinged the same alarm as a predator. The amygdala fires, the memory gets burned in deep. But the burning alone does not explain the loop. For that, you need to understand what happens next. Rumination. Rumination is the technical name for what you are doing when you replay the cringe. Psychologist Susan Nolan Hoeksema at Yale University spent decades studying it, and her research, published across the 1990s and early 2000s, showed something uncomfortable. When people feel bad about something social, many of them turn the moment over and over in their minds, believing they are solving a problem. They think, if I just think about it enough, I will figure out what went wrong, fix it mentally, and feel better. But rumination does not do that. It does the opposite. It strengthens the memory, increases anxiety, and makes the embarrassment feel fresh each time. You are not processing the moment. You are re-injuring yourself on purpose with your own mind. Nolan Hoeksema found that ruminators stayed sad longer, recovered from setbacks more slowly, and were significantly more likely to develop depression. So here is the reframe. Your brain is not punishing you because you deserve it. It is trying to protect you using rules that were written in a world where your social standing was genuinely a matter of life and death. It flagged the moment as a threat, burned it into memory, and keeps reviewing it because by its old logic, understanding that threat could save your life one day. The system worked perfectly. The world just changed faster than the system did. Knowing that does not make the loop stop by itself, but there are things that actually do help, and they are not what most people try. Most people try to suppress the memory, to push it down and think about something else. But research by Daniel Wegner at Harvard, published in Science in 1987, showed what he called the white bear problem. The harder you try not to think about something, the more insistently it comes back. Suppression backfires. What works, according to psychologist Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan, is something called self-distancing. Instead of replaying the memory from inside your own eyes, you step back and watch it as if you are a fly on the wall, or as if it happened to a friend. Kross and his colleagues found in a series of studies published around 2014 that this one shift, from first-person to third-person perspective, dramatically reduced the emotional sting. The facts of the memory stay the same, but you stop being the helpless person living it and become someone observing it from a safe distance. You can also name what you are feeling out loud, literally saying the words, because naming an emotion activates the prefrontal cortex and quietly turns down the amygdala's alarm, a finding from research by Matthew Lieberman at UCLA, published in Psychological Science in 2007. The memory is not going to vanish. The brain does not delete things it has marked as important, but you can change what it does to you when it surfaces. You can notice the spotlight effect and remind yourself that the audience you imagined was not really there. You can step back and watch yourself from outside like a kind stranger watching a stranger stumble. You can name the feeling instead of drowning in it. The loop will slow down, and the next time it starts up, you will recognize it for what it is: an old alarm system doing its best in a world it was never built for.